Hello my dear students, in this lecture we are going to understand Carnot refrigeration cycle. Now this Carnot refrigeration cycle is nothing but ideal refrigeration cycle. Hence this Carnot refrigerator is also called ideal refrigerator. Carnot refrigerator means ideal refrigerator. Always Carnot cycle is a ideal cycle which is reversible cycle, which is highly reversible. It is always reversible cycle. The purpose of refrigerator is to maintain temperature of surrounding below atmospheric temperature. Now, how to maintain the temperature of surrounding below atmospheric temperature? Let us say I have here the purpose of refrigerator is to maintain temperature below atmospheric temperature. This is the purpose of refrigerator. Now, to maintain the temperature of surrounding below atmospheric temperature, we have to continuously remove or extract heat from the surrounding. Therefore, the purpose of refrigerator is to maintain temperature of surrounding below atmospheric temperature by continuously extracting heat from the refrigerated space. Now, here this heat extracted from refrigerated space is called net refrigerating effect. Is called net refrigerating effect. It is also written as NRE, net refrigerating effect. So remember here onward, whatever the heat extracted from the refrigerated space is called net refrigerating effect. In case of Carnot refrigerator, there are two constant temperature thermal energy reservoir, right? Thermal energy reservoir. There are basically two types of thermal energy reservoir. One is source, another is sink. Now let us say here there is a source. This is a source. Source means the higher temperature is constant. Means source is at higher temperature and it is constant temperature, right? Means any amount of heat is given to the source or any amount of heat is withdrawn from the source, the temperature of source remains constant. And other thermal energy reservoir is sink. Here this is sink. Sink is at lower temperature, and again for sink, any amount of heat is given to the sink or any amount of heat is withdrawn from the sink, the temperature of sink is constant and it is lower temperature reservoir. Therefore, lower temperature is constant. Therefore, any refrigerator operates between higher temperature and lower temperature. Now, between the source and sink, here refrigeration means the purpose of refrigerator is to maintain the temperature below atmospheric temperature. Therefore, here the source is atmosphere. This source is, in case of refrigeration, source becomes atmosphere and the sink is refrigerated space. It is refrigerated space. The space from which we need to remove the heat is called refrigerated space, right? Now between this atmosphere and refrigerated space, or between the source and sink, if I put here Carnot refrigerator, here this is a Carnot refrigerator, means ideal refrigerator, which is also called a reversible refrigerator, right? Now what this refrigerator will do, this refrigerator will extract heat from the refrigerated space. This is the extracted heat from the refrigerated space. Means now whatever heat is removed from this refrigerated space or whatever heat is withdrawn from this sink, the same heat is supplied to the refrigerator, right? Now this heat is going into the refrigerator, means heat supplied to the refrigerator. Therefore, for this refrigerator, this Q is nothing but heat supplied. Heat supplied. Therefore, we can say here QS is heat supplied. QS is heat supplied to refrigerator. It is also heat extracted from the refrigerated space. Heat extracted from the refrigerated space, right? Now, and whatever heat extracted from refrigerated space is called net refrigerating effect. Therefore, this QS is nothing but net refrigerating effect. Net refrigerating effect. Now, here the purpose of this refrigerator is to extract heat from the refrigerated space continuously and supply to the source. Therefore, here there will be a heat supplied to the source. Now, Q. Now, here, can you say here, this heat supplied to the source is nothing but heat rejected by the refrigerator or heat removed from the refrigerator. Therefore, this Q is nothing but QR. QR. Therefore this QR is nothing but heat rejected from refrigerator, rejected from refrigerator, or this is heat supplied, heat lost to the atmosphere. Can I say like this? See, this QR is going into the atmosphere, means this heat is lost to the atmosphere, or also we can say this is heat rejected to the atmosphere or heat supplied to the atmosphere. See, this heat is given to the atmosphere, right? Now also called heat rejected from the refrigerator. Now my dear students, here we know that the source temperature TH is more than sink temperature TL. That means here heat is flowing from lower temperature to higher temperature. And my dear students, as per second law statement, that is Clausius statement, second law, there are two statements of second law. One is Kelvin Planck statement, which is for engine, and other is Clausius statement. Clausius statement is for refrigerator as well as heat pump. Clausius second law statement. Now this heat cannot flow from low temperature to high temperature naturally, and if I want to transfer this heat from lower temperature to higher temperature, then we have to give one input. Therefore there will be the refrigerator is consuming net work input, right? This is the net work given to the refrigerator. Therefore without net work input we cannot flow heat from low temperature to high temperature. This is Clausius statement. Or the refrigerator which can flow heat from low temperature to high temperature without any work input is impossible. This is also Clausius statement. Therefore my dear students, this refrigerator is consuming external work to extract heat from low temperature reservoir to and transferring to the high temperature reservoir. Now already we have defined that the heat extracted from the refrigerator space is nothing but net refrigerating effect, and the purpose of this refrigerator is to maintain this lower temperature below atmospheric temperature, or to maintain this sink temperature below atmospheric temperature. This is the purpose of refrigerator in case here, right? Now my dear students, for this purpose work is given as an input. Therefore this work W net is nothing but input, and output is this net refrigerating effect or heat extracted from the refrigerated space is output here. Now as here work is given input, and the performance of work is called COP, right? Coefficient of performance is nothing but performance of work. Performance of work is called coefficient of performance. And performance of heat, if heat is given as an input, performance of heat is called efficiency, and this efficiency you are going to learn in IC engine subject or for engine, right? Efficiency is for engine, that is performance of heat, means here heat is the input, and whenever work is the input it is called coefficient of performance. And always whatever may be the performance is always output divided by input, output divided by input. Therefore COP is also equal to output divided by input. Therefore here COP of refrigerator is equal to output is heat supplied to the refrigerator or heat extracted from the refrigerated space or net refrigerating effect divided by input is W net. Input is W net, right? This is the COP of refrigerator. Now my dear students, as per first law of thermodynamics, that is energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, it can be only converted from one form to the another form. It is also called energy conservation principle. Now as per first law of thermodynamics, whatever energy entering into the refrigerator must be equal to energy leaving the refrigerator. Therefore here energy entering are heat supplied to the refrigerator plus W net, these are the energy entering into the refrigerator, is equal to heat rejected from the refrigerator. Energy leaving the refrigerator is heat rejected from the refrigerator, right? Therefore from this we can say W net is equal to heat rejected minus heat supplied. Now my dear students, in IC engine you might have learned that this net work output is equal to heat supply minus heat rejected in IC engine. And in engine is a work producing device, so their work is a positive, right? That is work done by the system. But here refrigerator is work consuming device. If you write W net is equal to heat supply minus heat rejected, then also no problem for the refrigerator. Then but in this case the answer will be negative, and we know that because heat supply here, heat supply is less than heat rejected. From here you can say heat rejected is more than here heat supply. Therefore, if I write W net is equal to heat supply minus heat rejected, then answer will be negative. And we know that refrigerator is work consuming device, and work consumed by the device is negative work. So for writing positive answer, we are writing W net is equal to heat rejected minus heat supply. But we know that this much amount of work is consumed by the refrigerator, means it is a negative work. It is a negative work device, right? Therefore, put here this formula into COP, right? If I put this W net into COP formula, therefore this COP of refrigerator is equal to heat supplied divided by W net. Heat supplied is nothing but net refrigerating effect divided by W net. Therefore, the COP of refrigerator is equal to heat supplied divided by, or net refrigerating effect divided by, heat rejected minus heat supplied. Now, my dear students, again, as this is a reversible refrigerator, Carnot refrigerator is nothing but a reversible refrigerator, right? Now, for a reversible refrigerator, Clausius inequality, for reversible refrigerator, Clausius inequality, that you have learned in second law of thermodynamics, that is basic thermodynamics subject. This Clausius inequality says that cyclic integral of dq by t is equal to 0 for reversible cycle, and Carnot engine is a reversible cycle. Therefore, this Clausius inequality here is valid, that is cyclic integral of dq by t is equal to 0. Therefore, if I want to simplify this, cyclic integral of dq by t is equal to 0. That means, now the sign convention is heat given to the system. Here refrigerator is our system. Heat given to the system is positive and heat rejected from the system is negative. Therefore, here heat given to the system is Qs, which is positive, which is given at temperature TL. This Qs is given at temperature TL. Therefore, Qs by TL, now plus cyclic integration means summation, plus heat rejected from the system at TH, and heat rejected is nothing but negative, minus QR divided by TH is equal to 0. This is Clausius inequality. Therefore, from this, can I say Qs divided by TL minus QR divided by TH is equal to 0. Therefore, Qs divided by TL, here heat ratio at lower temperature, heat by temperature ratio at lower temperature is equal to heat by temperature ratio at higher temperature. Therefore, is equal to QR divided by TH. Again, can I write this Qs divided by QR? This Qs divided by QR is equal to TL divided by TH. TL divided by TH. Now, my dear students, can you say here Qs is at lower temperature, Qs is at lower temperature, and QR is at higher temperature, QR is at higher temperature, means here this heat ratio we can replace with temperature ratio. Whenever it is a reversible cycle, the heat ratio can be replaced by temperature ratio. Therefore, here in COP also replace heat ratio with the help of temperature ratio. So, the COP of this Carnot engine or reversible cycle becomes, see here, this COP of refrigerator is nothing but Qs divided by QR minus Qs, which is nothing but COP of refrigerator is equal to Qs is at lower temperature, QR is at higher temperature, which will become Qs, instead of Qs I will write TL divided by QR is replaced by TH, higher temperature, TH minus TL, means the heat ratio can be replaced with temperature ratio for reversible cycle only, for reversible cycle only. Hence, the COP of this refrigerator is equal to net refrigerating effect divided by W net, which again can be written as Qs divided by QR minus Qs, which is again replaced by temperature limits as it is reversible, which is TL divided by TH minus TL. Just we have seen this, right? Now, my dear students, can I say here this COP of refrigerator is a function of only temperature limits, that is, it is a function of lower temperature and higher temperature only. From this formula, we can say the COP of Carnot refrigerator is a function of only lower temperature and higher temperature. Now to change this COP, we have to change the temperature limits. Therefore, COP of refrigerator is equal to TL divided by TH minus TL. Now, in this case, to change this COP of refrigerator, we have two options. That is, first is changing the lower temperature, other is changing the higher temperature. Now, if lower temperature, from the formula, can you say here lower temperature is in numerator and in denominator it is in negative sign, right? Means as lower temperature increases, Here numerator goes on increasing and denominator goes on decreasing. Therefore, as numerator is increasing, denominator is decreasing, the COP of refrigerator is also increasing, right? Therefore, if lower temperature is increased, the COP of refrigerator also increases. And if this higher temperature increases, then higher temperature minus lower temperature, this subtraction goes on increasing. Therefore, as higher temperature increases, denominator goes on increasing, therefore COP goes on decreasing. Therefore, as higher temperature increases, COP goes on decreasing. In another word, we can say as higher temperature decreases, then COP of refrigerator increases. So, my dear students, to increase COP, to increase COP of refrigerator, we have two options. Number one, increase the lower temperature, and number two, decrease the higher temperature. These are the two options available to increase COP of any refrigerator. Now, among these two options, increasing the lower temperature has a greater improvement in COP as compared to decreasing the higher temperature. Here I am repeating again the statement. My dear students, listen the statement carefully. To increase COP of refrigerator, we have two options. First is increase the lower temperature, and other is decrease the higher temperature. Now, by doing this both, we can increase the COP of refrigerator. But among these two, increasing the lower temperature has greater improvement in COP as compared to decreasing the higher temperature. But both will increase the COP of refrigerator. The ideal refrigerator functions on reverse Carnot cycle. So let us draw this reverse Carnot cycle. You have learned Carnot cycle in second law of thermodynamics, that is engine cycle. Carnot cycle is the engine cycle. Reverse Carnot cycle is a refrigeration cycle. In Carnot cycle, that is engine cycle, the cycle was clockwise. But here in case of reverse Carnot cycle or refrigeration cycle, it is only anti-clockwise, but the cycle is same. Now, if I draw PV and TS diagram, let us draw pressure versus volume and temperature versus entropy diagram, TS diagram, right? Now, here if I draw PV and TS diagram, process 1 to 2 is reversible adiabatic compression. Process 1 to 2 is 1 to 2 reversible adiabatic compression, means PV raised to gamma is equal to constant. Equation is PV raised to gamma is equal to constant. Therefore, first process, it is 1 to 2, it is reversible adiabatic. Reversible adiabatic means isentropic compression, right? Reversible adiabatic compression or isentropic compression, that means the equation is T2 divided by T1, right, is equal to P2 divided by P1 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma is equal to V1 divided by V2 raised to gamma minus 1. This is the equation of this process, and here this S2 is equal to S1 is equal to entropy is constant. Isentropic means constant entropy process, right? Reversible adiabatic means heat transfer during process. Heat transfer during process is 0. Reversible adiabatic means no change in entropy, that is no transfer of heat, right? And reversible adiabatic compression always gives heating effect, means during compression temperature goes on increasing, temperature increases. Therefore, at constant entropy temperature increases. Therefore, 1 to 2, the process on TS diagram is like this: 1 to 2 isentropic compression, that is temperature increases. Now, second process, that is 2 to 3, is constant temperature heat rejection. Isothermal, we can say isothermal heat rejection, means at constant temperature heat is rejected from the system, QR. Now, on PV diagram, the process is like this: whenever heat is rejected at constant temperature, then volume decreases and pressure increases, right? 2 to 3, like this. And from 2 to 3, the higher temperature is constant. This higher temperature is constant, means here we can say T2 is equal to T3 is equal to higher temperature, which is constant, and heat is rejected during this process, right? Now, as heat is rejected at constant temperature, heat rejected means entropy decreases. Heat rejected from the system means entropy decreases. Therefore, entropy decreases at constant temperature. Therefore, 2 to 3 is straight horizontal line on TS diagram. Now, at 3 means this is higher temperature is equal to constant and heat is rejected during the process. Now, next process after that, constant temperature heat rejection. After constant temperature heat rejection process, next process is, that is process number 3 is 3 to 4, which is nothing but reversible adiabatic expansion. Reversible adiabatic expansion. Reversible adiabatic expansion is isentropic expansion. That means the process 3 to 4 is nothing but reversible adiabatic expansion, like this. 3 to 4 like this. PV raised to gamma is equal to constant, reversible adiabatic expansion. Now during reversible adiabatic expansion, the equation is T3 divided by T4 is equal to P3 divided by P4 raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma is equal to V4 divided by V3 raised to gamma minus 1. This is the equation of reversible adiabatic expansion process. And heat during this process, heat 3 to 4 is 0. That is, it is adiabatic process, heat is 0. And entropy is constant, that is S3 is equal to S4 is equal to constant. Entropy is constant, S3 is equal to S4. And reversible adiabatic expansion always gives cooling effect, means during reversible adiabatic expansion temperature drops, at constant entropy temperature decreases. Therefore 3 to 4 there will be straight vertical line, 3 to 4 there will be a straight vertical line, right? Now fourth process is process 4 to 1 is constant temperature or isothermal heat supply. Heat supply, also called isothermal heat absorption. Heat supply is also called isothermal heat absorption. That means temperature T4 is equal to T1 is equal to lower temperature is constant, and during this process heat is supplied, right? Therefore 4 to 1, 4 to 1 is lower temperature is equal to constant, means T1 is equal to T4 is equal to lower temperature, and heat is supplied. As heat is supplied, entropy increases at constant temperature. Therefore 4 to 1 there will be a horizontal line, that is lower temperature is equal to constant. Now my dear students, here heat is supplied or absorbed during 4 to 1 and heat is rejected during 2 to 3, that we have seen, right? Therefore we can say here heat is supplied during 4 to 1 and heat is rejected during 2 to 3, right? Now therefore area under TS diagram for a process, area under TS diagram is nothing but heat. For any process, area under TS diagram is nothing but heat, right? Now see here, here entropy S1 is equal to entropy S2 and entropy S3 is equal to entropy S4, and area under any process for the TS diagram is nothing but heat. Therefore can I say heat supplied is nothing but area under 4 to 1 process on TS diagram. Therefore this area which is nothing but lower temperature into S1 minus S4, right? Therefore heat supplied is lower temperature into S1 minus S4, right? Again heat rejected is nothing but area under 2 to 3 process for TS diagram, which is nothing but higher temperature into S2 minus S3, right? This total area, therefore it is higher temperature into S2 minus S3. And my dear students, this heat rejected is equal to higher temperature into S2 is nothing but S1 and S3 is nothing but S4. Therefore I can write like this also. And we know that the COP of refrigerator is nothing but heat supplied divided by W net, which is nothing but heat supplied divided by heat rejected minus heat supplied. Now net work is nothing but area enclosed by the cycle, area enclosed by the cycle on PV as well as TS diagram. This is nothing but net work as well as net heat. This is net heat as well as net work. Area enclosed by the PV diagram as well as TS diagram is net heat as well as net work, which is nothing but heat rejected minus heat supplied, right? Therefore here COP of refrigerator is equal to heat supplied is lower temperature into S1 minus S4 divided by heat rejected is higher temperature into S1 minus S4 minus heat supplied is lower temperature into S1 minus S4. Now from numerator S1 minus S4 and from denominator S1 minus S4 will get cancelled. Here this will get cancelled. Therefore the COP of cycle becomes, here I will write here in the left corner, left bottom corner. Therefore after cancelling S1 minus S4, the COP of refrigerator becomes equal to lower temperature divided by higher temperature minus lower temperature. The same expression we have seen previously. Now as we have seen, the Carnot refrigerator functions between two temperature limits, that is higher temperature which is constant Here this higher temperature which is constant also called source, and there is a lower temperature which is constant also called sink, right? And between this higher temperature and lower temperature there is a Carnot refrigerator. Here this refrigerator is Carnot refrigerator. Now the purpose of this refrigerator is to consume work input. This W net work is consumed, and it will absorb heat or extract heat from the refrigerated space. Here it is refrigerated space, and the heat extracted from this refrigerated space is QS, that is heat supplied to the refrigerator, which is nothing but net refrigerating effect, and continuously supply this heat or heat rejected to the source, right? Now inside this refrigerator there is a Carnot cycle, that is, if I draw TS diagram, 1 to 2 is reversible adiabatic compression, it is isentropic compression, entropy is constant. 2 to 3 2 to 3 is constant temperature, that is higher temperature, constant temperature, higher temperature which is constant. 2 to 3 constant temperature heat rejection, that means during this process heat is rejected to the constant temperature source, right? And again, then 3 to 4 reversible adiabatic expansion, that is entropy is constant and expansion means temperature decreases. And 4 to 1 is constant temperature heat absorption, that is lower temperature is constant and heat is absorbed, that means heat is extracted from the refrigerated space, right? Heat is removed from this refrigerated space, or heat supplied to the refrigerator means heat absorbed by the refrigerator, right? And for this we have seen COP is nothing but lower temperature divided by higher temperature minus lower temperature. This formula we have seen, right? Here this lower temperature divided by difference of temperature, right? Now we are going to see refrigerators in series, that is coupled refrigerator. Coupled refrigerator means refrigerators in series, that is series arrangement, right? Now here let us say there is one refrigerator operating between temperature limits T1, let us say this is a higher temperature T1 and lower temperature is T, and lower temperature is T, and between these there is a refrigerator 1 which is consuming work W1, which is consuming work W1. Therefore it will extract Q amount of heat from the temperature T and supply Q1 amount of heat to the temperature T1. Now, and again there is another refrigerator which is operating between the source T and sink T2. Let us say there is a sink T2 which is constant, and there is refrigerator 2 which is operating between higher temperature T and lower temperature T2. Therefore it will extract heat Q2 from T2 and supply Q amount of heat to the T, and by consuming work W2, Now here we can say this W1 is nothing but Q1 minus Q. Already we have seen W1 is equal to Q1 minus Q, and this W2 is Q minus Q2, right? Q minus Q2 from first law of thermodynamics. And we know that the COP of refrigerator, COP is nothing but lower temperature divided by higher temperature minus lower temperature, right? Therefore we will see this COP for different refrigerators. Let us say C1, for first refrigerator C1, lower temperature is T and higher temperature is T1. Here the order of temperature is T2 is minimum temperature, T is intermediate temperature, and T1 is maximum temperature here, right? Now here therefore in for first refrigerator, that is topping cycle, the refrigerator which operates between temperature limits T1 and T is called topping cycle. Therefore this is a topping cycle or topping refrigerator, topping cycle or topping refrigerator. Now for this refrigerator the COP is lower temperature divided by difference of temperature, which is nothing but T divided by T1 minus T. Therefore if I simplify this, now divide here numerator with T and denominator with T, then I will get this is equal to 1 divided by T1 by T minus 1, right? Therefore we can write T1 by T minus 1 is equal to 1 upon C1. Therefore we can, from this we can write the T1 by T, that is higher temperature divided by lower temperature, T1 by T is equal to 1 plus 1 upon C1, right? That is higher temperature divided by lower temperature is equal to 1 plus 1 upon COP. Similarly, with the help of same result for bottoming cycle, here the refrigerator which operates between higher temperature T and lower temperature T2 is called bottoming cycle. This is a bottoming cycle which operates between higher temperature T and lower temperature T2. For this we can write higher temperature T divided by lower temperature T2 is equal to 1 plus 1 upon COP of second refrigerator, right? These are the two expressions we have obtained, expression number 1, expression number 2, right? So these two expressions here I am writing at the corner, right, so that we will get sufficient space for the further calculations, right? Now here this W1 and W2 we know. W1 is nothing but here W1 is equal to Q1 minus Q, and W2 is equal to Q minus Q2, and COP1, sorry, here temperature ratio, that is higher temperature T1 divided by lower temperature T is equal to 1 plus 1 upon C1, and second expression is, this is the first expression, second expression is higher temperature for bottoming cycle divided by lower temperature for bottoming cycle is equal to 1 plus 1 upon COP of second refrigerator, right? This is the second expression. Now my dear students, instead of using refrigerator 1 and refrigerator 2, if I use one single refrigerator between T1 and T2, between lower higher temperature T1 and lower temperature T2, if I use single refrigerator, then this is called overall refrigerator. Let us say this is T1 and here lower temperature T2. Between them, if I use overall refrigerator, right, here Q1 and Q2, heats are Q1 and Q2, this refrigerator will consume overall work W, right? For this overall refrigerator, similarly, we can write higher temperature divided by lower temperature is equal to this ratio T1 divided by T2 is equal to 1 plus 1 upon C overall. Similarly, we can write, right? Therefore, this is the third equation. Now, if I multiply equation 1 with 2, I will get equation 3. I will get equation 3. Check here. We can check here, right? Therefore, equation 1 is T1 by T into equation 2 is T by T2, which is nothing but T1 by T2, which is equation 3. Therefore, we can cite here, as I am multiplying left sides, I can write right sides also. Therefore, T1 by T is nothing but 1 plus 1 upon C1. T by T2 is 1 plus 1 upon C2 is equal to T1 by T2 is 1 plus 1 upon C overall. This is how we can calculate overall COP of coupled refrigerator. Now here, for analysis purpose, I have considered that there are two refrigerators, that is topping and bottoming cycle. If there are n refrigerators, let us therefore assume if n refrigerators are connected in series, then the overall COP becomes 1 plus 1 upon C overall is equal to 1 plus 1 upon C1 into 1 plus 1 upon C2 into 1 plus 1 upon C3 and so on for n refrigerators up to n, right? This is how we can write. But if there are two refrigerators, the same formula becomes 1 plus 1 upon C overall is equal to 1 plus 1 upon C1 into 1 plus 1 upon C2. This is how we can write the same formula. My dear students, this is for refrigerators in series, right? This is not for engine or heat pump, right? In a basic thermodynamics subject, you have learned for engine and heat pump, as well as you might have learned for refrigerator also. This is only for refrigerator. For engine and heat pump, there is a minus sign that you have to learn from basic thermodynamics subject, right? Now, just for fun, let us consider one example. If I consider COP1, let us say for first refrigerator COP is 3 and for second refrigerator COP is 2. If I consider C1 is equal to 3 and C2 is equal to 2, then what will be the overall COP? Put here in the formula. Therefore, 1 plus 1 upon C overall is equal to 1 plus 1 upon C1 is 3 into 1 plus 1 upon C2 is 2. If I simplify this, therefore 1 plus 1 upon C overall is equal to here 3 plus 1 4 by 3 into 3 by 2, which is nothing but 3 will get cancelled, which is nothing but 2, Now if this answer is 2, that is 1 plus 1 upon C overall is equal to 2, then here 1 plus 1 is 2, therefore 1 upon C overall is 1, therefore C overall is equal to 1. 1 upon 1 is 1, right? Therefore, overall COP, if C1 is equal to 3, C2 is equal to 2, then C overall will be equal to 1. That means here COP is decreasing. Therefore, we can say the overall COP for the refrigerator is less than COP1 as well as overall COP is less than COP2. Means for n refrigerators, in series, the overall COP is always less than the COP of any individual refrigerator. This is very important. And my dear students, as it is Carnot refrigerator is a reversible refrigerator. Therefore, for Carnot refrigerator, heat by temperature ratio is always constant. Therefore, we can say Q1 by T1 is equal to Q by T is equal to Q2 by T2. This is the heat by temperature ratio. Already we have seen this is nothing but Clausius inequality, right? Here Q1 by T1 is equal to Q by T is equal to Q2 by T2. This is Clausius inequality. Now here, let us say there are two special cases. There are two special cases which are very important, and generally they are asking questions in examination. That is case 1. For equal work input of refrigerator 1 and refrigerator 2. For equal work input as work is input here. That means W1 is equal to W2. Therefore, we know that W1 is nothing but Q1 minus Q. Therefore, Q1 minus Q is equal to W2 is nothing but Q minus Q2, which is nothing but equal to Q minus Q2. Therefore, this Q1 plus Q2 will become, take this Q on right side and Q2 on left side, is equal to Q plus Q. Therefore, 2Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. Therefore, Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 by 2. Now, for a reversible cycle, the heat ratio can be replaced by temperature ratio. Therefore, instead of Q, there will be T is equal to T1 plus T2 by 2. So, my dear students, here T is intermediate temperature, T1 and T2 are the extreme temperatures. Therefore, we can say for equal work input, the intermediate temperature is arithmetic mean of other two temperatures, right? It is called arithmetic mean. Therefore, for equal work inputs, the intermediate temperature for coupled refrigerator is arithmetic mean of other two temperatures. Now, case number 2 is for equal COPs. Case number 2 is for equal COPs. So here I am writing case 2 for equal COPs of topping cycle and bottoming cycle. That means C1 is equal to C2. So my dear students, just now we have seen that higher temperature divided by lower temperature is equal to 1 plus 1 upon COP. Therefore, this T1 divided by T is equal to 1 plus 1 upon C1. This is the equation number 1. Check the equation number 1. Then again we have seen for bottoming cycle T divided by T2. For bottoming cycle we can say T divided by T2 is equal to 1 plus 1 upon C2. This is equation number 2 that we have seen just now, right? Now, as C1 is equal to C2, so as C1 is equal to C2, therefore, these right sides are same for both equations, therefore, left sides are also same for equal COPs. Therefore, we can say T1 by T is equal to T by T2. Therefore, T1 into T2 is equal to T square. Therefore, intermediate temperature is equal to under root of T1 T2. Therefore, for equal COPs for topping cycle and bottoming cycle, the intermediate temperature is geometric mean of other two temperatures. Under root T1 T2 means it is a geometric mean. Therefore, my dear students, these two statements are very much important. For equal work input of both refrigerators, intermediate temperature is arithmetic mean of other two temperatures, that is T1 plus T2 by 2. And for equal COPs, that is C1 is equal to C2, for equal COPs, the intermediate temperature is geometric mean of other two temperatures, that is T is equal to under root of T1 T2. And my dear students, this refrigerator functions on second law of thermodynamics, that is second law of thermodynamics. But in case of second law, there are two statements, that is Kelvin-Planck statement and Clausius statement. And refrigerator is a device of Clausius statement. Therefore, for refrigerator, there is a Clausius statement of second law. And this Clausius statement says that it is impossible to construct a refrigerator whose purpose is to absorb heat from the low temperature reservoir and transfer to the high temperature reservoir without work input. That means, let us say we have higher temperature reservoir which is constant, and lower temperature is constant. Higher temperature reservoir is called source and lower temperature reservoir is called sink. Now, it is impossible to construct a refrigerator whose purpose is to absorb heat from the lower temperature reservoir and continuously transfer to the higher temperature reservoir, that is QR, without any work input. Means if work is zero, then this is not possible. Not possible. means whenever we want to transfer heat, that is higher temperature is more than lower temperature. Therefore whenever we want to transfer heat from lower temperature to higher temperature, always we need to give work input. This is called Clausius statement. Thank you dear students. In next lecture we will see Bell-Coleman cycle of refrigeration.